Guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about why certain products on Amazon fail and do not make any money, and how to know whether or not it is time to leave that product in the past and move on towards a better product. Before we get started, go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed to this channel if you have not already, and let's go ahead and jump right in. So this is a question that I get asked all the time, and it really is rooted in the fear of failure. And that is, what if my product doesn't sell? What if I don't make any money? What if it's not a good product? And I completely understand the concern and the anxiety that comes with product research and really putting your time and energy behind one specific product. But I will tell you this, if you follow the teachings that I give out on this channel and even in my private program, you would know and have the confidence that you are picking a viable product. So we're working under the assumption that you have done your due diligence and you did good product research and you have picked a good product. So with that being said, that generally dramatically increases your chances of doing well with your Amazon product. But what happens if something just goes wrong and the product does not sell? Well, before you panic, you need to make sure that you are eliminating certain potential causes to your product not moving the way that it should. So right off of the bat, it's really important to look at your listing and ensure that your listing is optimized. When I say optimized, what I'm talking about is that your listing has the appropriate keywords in the back end. When I say keywords in the back end, I mean that those words that people are typing into the search bar are woven throughout your listing. They are in your title, they are in your bullet points, they're in your description. You are making sure that your listing and your product is as SEO friendly, Amazon's version, and as discoverable as possible. If you don't have any, viable, relevant keywords in your listing, no wonder you're not getting sales. People can't even find your product. They don't know where it is. It's not showing up to them because Amazon can't figure out what your product is enough to be able to show it to the right people. So you have to do your part and make sure that if you are selling a candle, you have wax, you have flameless, you have battery powered, if that's the kind of candle it is, that you have calming, sweet smelling, home decor, all of these different keywords that would pertain to your candle, they need to be woven throughout your listing and in the actual listing itself when you create it on Amazon. The next thing that you can look at when it comes to your listing is simply your product photos. Do the photos represent your product in the best way possible? Are the photos crisp? Are they clear? Are they high definition? Are they zoomable? Do you have infographics? Do you have lifestyle images? Do you have diagrams? Do you have comparison charts? All of these things are going to help the customer feel more confident in purchasing your product. And if your photos are weak or they're not clear, they're blurry, they're lazy looking, they look fake, they look photoshopped, it's no wonder that a customer wouldn't, feel good about purchasing that product. So make sure that the photos are on point along with having those keywords in there as well. The next thing that I would advise you to look at if your product isn't selling as well as it should is the price point. Are you competitive compared to the other sellers in your niche? If everybody else is selling at $19.99, what reason do you have to be selling at $24.99? Unless your product is light years ahead of everybody else's in terms of quality, in terms of value, and overall offer, there's no reason that yours should be significantly more expensive than everyone else's, because no matter how much a customer wants a valuable, high quality product, they are always going to want to feel like it is worth their money. Everybody likes a deal. Everybody likes to feel like they're getting, something that is going to be worth it for them, especially in this economy. So you want to make sure that your pricing is competitive enough and that you are competing in a way that makes sense to the customer, to where I wouldn't see your $24.99 product and think to myself, well, everybody else is at $19.99. I don't know, maybe theirs is a little bit better, but I'll save my $5 and I'll go with one of these guys instead. So keep in mind the way that the customer is going to be evaluating the value of the product and make sure that you are not overdoing it when it comes to your price point. The last really important component of your listing that has to be optimized is your reviews. Now, this one can be a little bit tricky because normally your review count increases as you sell more product. But in order to sell more product, typically you need more reviews as well for social proof. So sometimes you can feel stuck as a beginner because you don't have reviews and you don't really feel like you have a way of gaining that initial momentum so that you can get sales, so you can get organic reviews. And what I will say there is you can definitely utilize friends and family, you didn't hear from me, to do your reviews. Just make sure that you are doing it in a compliant way. What I mean by that is Amazon is very, very intense when it comes to review manipulation. They don't want anyone that knows you or has any interest or connection to you to review your product, because obviously they are not going to be critical, right? Your mom is not going to give you a 1 star. Your sister is not going to give you a 2 star. So they want to ensure that whoever's leaving that review is just a genuine, verified customer who has nothing to do with you. So be smart about it. Read between the lines. If you are needing reviews from friends and family, make sure that it is a friend of a friend. Make sure that it is a co-worker of a family member, somebody with a little bit of distance. Because believe it or not, Amazon is crazy, the same way that Google and Meta and all of these big data companies are constantly collecting information from us. I'm not trying to freak you out. It is what it is, literally the truth. So they know when, that is a family member. You guys have the same last name. You've been on the same Wi-Fi. You're friends on Facebook. They're going to be able to make those connections. So again, be smart about it, and you can utilize that method to get some friends and family and initial traction to your listing. So to summarize, if you do have a good product, the biggest culprit as to your product not moving is that there are issues with the listing and it is not optimized in any of the areas that I talked about. You've got bad photos, your price is too high, you have no keywords, and your reviews are terrible. That could easily lead to a good product still not performing well because you've got those different factors working against you. Now, the second part of this question is a little bit trickier to answer because it's going to be different depending on the product, depending on the seller, depending on your level of patience, your level of belief in the product. These will all impact when would be the right time to actually cut your losses and move on from a specific product. Right off the bat though, I can say that you need to give a product at least, and I say bare minimum, at least 3 months before you even consider moving on past the product. You cannot, within the span of 1 month, determine whether or not you have a good product or a bad. Actually, let me take that back. You can determine whether you have a good product within the span of a month. The product sells really, really quickly. That's easy to evaluate. But you can't really determine whether or not it's a bad product, because by that same measure, whether or not the product is selling quickly, it is a very, very small piece of a bigger picture and a much longer time frame. So you can't just look at that in isolation. If you look at your very first month and let's say that you only make $100 in sales in an entire month. I mean, that's pretty low. But does that mean that you wouldn't make $1,000 in your second month or $10,000 in your third month? You never know what can happen with the product, especially when you consider that the earliest stages are the hardest. You have no social proof, no reviews, you have no ranking, you have these different things that are working against you. So you can really only go up from that initial place that you're starting at. So you need to give your product a chance to actually sell, right? You can't just cut it off before it even has an opportunity to be ranked or for you to get your PPC or your Amazon ads on track. You want to give that an opportunity. So that's why I say 3 months bare minimum to at least give the product a chance. And then from there, if you're feeling like, okay, this product just is not selling, I'm only selling, 1 unit a week or 1 unit a month or something like that. So that's an instance where you might say to yourself, this is not a product that I'm going to keep around and keep pursuing. But remember that we did not just jump to that conclusion on our second week selling on Amazon, right? We made sure that we set ourselves up for success by doing the appropriate product research using Helium 10. Helium 10 is the best Amazon product research software. I'll go ahead and leave a link to that down below. But you did your homework. You picked a good product based off of the data points, based off of the numbers. And then you created an amazing listing that has all the right keywords, the great pictures, the competitive price point. So you have done the right thing here. You have done the right thing here. You've worked on your PPC and your advertising. You've optimized that. And then you give it 3 months. And then if after all of that, the product isn't moving, then you can start looking at liquidation. How can I, sell out of this product, drop my price down, and then not ever restock it again? And that would be your ideal way of getting rid of the product, which is just lowering your price to your break-even cost and then selling out of the product and then wiping your hands clean of it. So there are going to be many, many steps involved before you get to that point of, I just don't want to do this product anymore. This product sucks. This product isn't selling well. I get it. And I know that it can be frustrating looking at your progress and your growth in a vacuum and in isolation. But I can tell you right now that in the past, I definitely was impatient. And there were times where, I looked at a month of sales and said to myself, oh, I did $12,000 last month. And this month I'm only at $8,000. this is horrible. I don't want these products anymore. My business is suffering. But in reality, $8,000, is it a decrease from maybe what it was the month before? Yes, but guess what happens the month after that? You do 20K, or everything kind of evens out, and you have to look at the big picture and not just fixate on a very small window of time. So I hope that encourages you to know that there are going to be lots of things that you can do in order to, prevent having the scenario where there's a product that is just a complete loss and a failure and something that you're not going to move forward with. But it definitely does happen. You just want to make sure that you are doing your part to ensure that the product succeeds, so that it doesn't happen unexpectedly and you're not doing things that you could have prevented or avoided had you known. And if you'd like to learn even more about Amazon selling, and not only what not to do, but what exactly to do in order to make money doing this, go ahead and check out my free 60-minute training that I have linked for you down below. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.